Mm-hmm. Look at me just popping in. I'm popping all over the place. That's what I do. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a very special Friday episode of the Just Too Sweet Show, episode number 44, might I add. I am the tribal chief this week. This guy over here, he's a head shrinker. Mr. AZ, what's going on, brother?
How we doing?
Chilling, brother. And we got Oos himself, Dave.
Oos.
What's going on, Dave? Thanks for joining me
good.
on a lovely Friday night. I know I did a couple shows this week already, but hey, that's what I do. I pop in.
I heard.
I
heard
fans what they want.
I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. What can I do? I like to pop in places.
I heard you were around a lot from someone.
Yeah, I had. Well, I will mention. I will give it a good plug. I had a good time last night in the Jada and Kyle show. So they gave me a bit of a complex, but that's all right. That's all right. We got our first guest already, and it's Bambi.
What up, Bambi?
And before we even get started, let's congratulate Bambi for winning the men's Royal Rumble Lotto that we had going on in this show. Congratulations, Bambi. The check is in the mail. Actually, I'm waiting for payment for one more person, and that person better make that payment quickly. He knows who he is. Give me the money, or I'll send Eric after you to break your legs. Anyway, Bambi, yes, congratulations on your pick. Winning at number 1. And Bambi, he wasn't supposed to be number 1. Let's not forget that. You got lucky. Him and Edge Norton flip-flopped. Edge came out first, ends up winning. You win. Congrats. As soon as the money is available, I will get it. The boss man, Steve. What is up, Steve? I know I'm doing 2 shows in one day. It's probably too much after last night,
Bambi.
2 today. I apologize. Yes, but I apologize for popping up again on another show.
Bambi, I guess.
At
least the boss didn't end up with all legends like you did.
I ended up with all legends who had no shot at winning. 0. Carlito, Tori Wilson, Mickey James. I had no shot at winning. I knew right away too.
I didn't do too bad, did I? I had a couple.
No, you had a couple that were towards the end, hanging out in the end.
Yeah,
I was good on the women's. I had Rhea Ripley, and I just was like, "Oh, come on, pull it off." Even though I picked Bianca to win, that was my prediction. I still was like, "Come on, Rhea, and then
I predicted the winner, didn't I?
Did you?
Did you pick Edge?
Yeah. No, the women's.
You picked Bianca?
No, I didn't. I picked Charlotte.
I think you picked Charlotte.
I know I picked Bianca.
Yeah, it came down to me and Dave, Bianca, and I picked Rhea, so I thought it was close. I was in the final 2 at least. Well,
no, we actually all were because Charlotte was final 3.
Yeah, it was the final 3 actually.
Yeah,
that's
it
true.
Was all 3 of us.
All 3 of us got it. So yeah, that's good. That's a good accomplishment. We know our shit.
We know our shit.
This is why you gotta watch us. That's why you gotta watch the show. We know our shit. Well, let's jump into some. Let's jump in real quick to some news that broke today, and that is the natural Butch Reed passed away today or Monday. I don't know. He passed away sometime this week. I wasn't a huge Butch Reed guy, but he was very talented. He was a big dude. He was a pretty good worker. Eric, what do you think of Butch Reed? And where would you put him as far as 80s wrestlers, 90s wrestlers, and all that stuff?
Butch Reed was great. Mid-South was some of his best work. He did a lot for Bill Watts and that territory. And it was weird because he was like a soup. He was really over in Mid-South, and then he came to the WWF and they dyed his hair blonde. Mm-hmm. And it was weird because I used to watch Mid-South a little bit. And you know how like on different wrestling programs, like when guys were like in the NWA, they looked like really tall. And then when they got to the WWF, they were like shorter and didn't seem as big. And like that's what happened with Butch Reed. Like I thought he was this like gigantic dude, and he's only like 5'8" or 5'9". He's not real tall, maybe 5'10".
Oh, really? That's small?
He's not that. I don't think he's 6 feet tall, man. Because like Hacksaw Duggan is like 6'3", and he was like towering over him.
He's billed at 6'2".
I don't think so. Maybe with his cowboy boots on a pedestal. There's no way he's 6'2". There's no way he's 6'2".
Really?
That's
Oh.
kayfabe, man. That's kayfabe. Yeah. Shawn Michaels is listed as 6 feet. He's fucking not even 5'8". But no, Butch Reed, man. I don't know. It was fun seeing him in the WWF for what. You know, a little known fact. I was told. What am I doing? I'm lying. I read. Actually, no. I heard that Butch Reed was supposed to be the Intercontinental Champion. He was supposed to beat Ricky Steamboat, and at the last minute, Honky, who was a Hogan buddy, they threw him in there, and you know, because I guess Vince liked Honky, but no, Butch Reed was supposed to be the Intercontinental Champ.
Why they pull? I know that story, but I don't remember why they pulled Butch Reed out of there.
He left. He left the week before. I guess he just walked.
Oh, because I remember that story. Honky told it. He said he just happened to be walking by, and Hogan said to Vince, "Well, how about him?" And Vince said, "Okay." And that's how Honky got the IC title.
Yeah,
he kept it for a year.
The longest. No, he's still the longest reigning.
He's still the longest reigning.
That's what I'm saying. So he just happened to be walking by, and Hogan said, "Well, how about him?" Done, and that's it. IC champion, longest reigning ever,
Intercontinental champion of all time.
I love me some Honky. Honky, I think, is one of the next guys I'm going to have to meet and bring a guitar and have him sign it. And I have the megaphone, so I got to meet Jimmy Hart, and then I'll bring Jack so we could be Honky and Jimmy Hart at the next big signing.
Well, that's going on. You guys meet Brutus, right? The GOAT.
Let me tell you something. If Eric wants to drive down here to meet Brutus, I'm not even going to meet him. I'm going to film Eric's face while he meets him. I want to document it. I'm going to make a little documentary movie when AZ met the barber, and that's how it's going to be.
I'll try to keep calm, man. I will. But
that'd be great. It'd be so great.
If he starts being a dick, man, I'll fuck him up. Like, there's just no two ways about it. Like, I don't give a fuck, Beefcake. There's no fucking way you can kick my ass. There's no way.
And that's a shoot.
That's a shoot.
That's a shoot. No, Brutus No. But like I said, if I were to meet him, I would be cordial. I'd be like, look, nice to meet you, Ed, or whatever your name is today. I'd be a douche like that. I'd be a dick. I'd be like, hey, nice to meet you, man, or booty man. And no, I would meet him. But back to Butch Reed, dude. I thought Butch Reed was great when he was with Ron Simmons in Doom, because like for like a minute you didn't know who they were. Like you really didn't know who they were. They were just these two gigantic black dudes that came out of nowhere that were humongous, and they were just beating the shit out of everybody. And it was so cool. And they had masks on. But then after you watched a couple of matches, it's like, that's Ron Simmons. And Butch Reed, you're going, fuck, who's that other guy? And then all of a sudden it clicks, it's Butch Reed. And it worked, man. It was great. Doom was great, man. Teddy Long, Doom.
Yeah, they were good. They were a good combination.
They were really good. Ron Simmons, I hate saying it, Ron Simmons is just like one of the best wrestlers ever. Like, he's just a pure athlete. He was so goddamn strong. You know, I know we're supposed to be talking about Butch Reed, but Ron Simmons, man, you got to give it to Ron Simmons. He was just a super athlete. Like, he shouldn't have been like almost like an alien. Like, how is he like that? Like, there's just nothing about him that was wrong.
Well, the next doc we can promote too is going to be the APA. So the APA is having their own special now, which is awesome. I love the APA. I thought that was a great combination. You know, I never talked about when I met. Like, remember, I told you I met the story. I met Les Luger in the airport, going to Orlando, going to Florida, Disney World.
I remember when that happened.
And when I went to Disney World, Ron Simmons was there because he was receiving I want to say the Florida State, having his number retired or having some kind of award for playing at Florida State, and he was at Universal Studios, and I was like, "Holy shit! I see two wrestlers in like a matter of 5 days." And Ron Simmons was up there. I was like, "Wow, I didn't get to meet him. I just saw him from a distance." But he was there receiving some kind of award for Florida State or football or all-time Florida, all-time Florida athlete or something like that. So that was pretty cool. Wow. He's a big jacked up dude in person. Yeah, that's not small.
No,
I got to meet Ron one time at a convention down here, and yeah, he's huge still.
He's huge. When'd you meet him?
It was maybe about 7 or 6 years ago. I went to one of the conventions that were down here, and he was there. Him, Goldberg, and yeah, I actually had a little bit of a conversation with Ron for a bit.
Nice,
and really humble, down to earth guy.
Well, David, you're obviously we always make fun of you. You're the younger guy. Do you have any memories of Butch Reed? Do you know Butch Reed? Did you get a chance to watch Butch Reed at all?
I actually did not.
Except for
I
like
did
what
not.
you see on the network?
Pretty much. Like anything when everything happened was basically when I started learning a little bit more about Butch Reed. I didn't really get to again. It was more like the 80s and 70s, and I wasn't even born yet.
And like Eric said, though, his best stuff was probably not in the WWE.
No, it was definitely like you can still like on the network you can get Mid South and even on YouTube you can. I watch a lot of Mid South still, and because I still watch old shit. I'm like addicted to it, and I found some really cool Mid South shows they have on YouTube, and one of them happened to be he and I think it was Hacksaw Duggan. One of they feuded before, but it was pretty cool because it's Hacksaw Butch Reed, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That was the whole gimmick thing. So that was a lot of fun. But like
Cool.
Butch Reed was like super over down there. The Rock and Roll Express were ridiculously over down there.
No, we know that
The
one.
Junkyard Dog was like Hulk Hogan down. I'm serious.
JYD.
Like he was like Hulk Hogan of the South. Wherever he went, man, it was crazy. Like they sold out like the Superdome and stuff or something like that. Like
Well, we always talk about how they were a little late to the program as far as recognizing what was real and what was not. So,
Mid South, Bill Watts, yeah, Bill Watts was. I guess he wasn't progressive enough. If he and Fritz Von Erich,
I'm talking about the crowd as far as knowing what's kayfabe and what's not. They took that shit serious.
Oh no, back then. Oh yeah, the Mid South. No. It was all
shit.
real.
That was
all
life.
real.
Yeah, that's
it was
what
all
I meant.
real. Yes, now I get you. I'm sorry, I was getting confused, but
No, yeah, like as Ric Flair tells the story how when they broke Dusty's leg, how they had to get like police escorted out of there because they were about to get murdered.
yeah,
And it's like these people went absolutely ape shit. It's like, wow, really?
Listen to some of Cornette's stories from Mid South and from Texas and stuff. Like if you injured one of the Von Erichs, like the state of Texas there was a bounty on you, and like you were. But no, it's been said by all the old legends and big name promoters that if Fritz Von Erich and Bill Watts played their cards right, like there still would be somewhat of a territory system because Fritz could have taken the world class higher than WCW was, and Crockett. If Crockett played it, it's just what are you gonna do? But if they say that Fritz and Bill Watts' territories were hotter than Crockett. So
but Vince was a better businessman.
Vince saw the writing on the wall,
and he had the TV. He had the good TV rights, and
he was in New York. You had the New York market. You're already like going uphill backwards. You know what I mean? You're not. I mean, when you got the New York market, that's basically it. That's
And before we jump into the next topic, real quick, like you said, Eric, I was talking to me and David talking while you were fixing your mic and stuff. I don't know if you realize this, but it's an official deal. You now have AEW, Impact, NWA, and now New Japan Pro Wrestling. It is official. All these organizations are now working together.
MLW.
There's one more.
What's the other one? Ring of Honor?
The AAA, the Mexican one.
Oh, okay.
They
got five now.
Sancha de whatever it is. What's that called?
Whatever they are.
Yeah, I know it's AAA. I know the
AAA. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
So now you have these 5 organizations deciding to work together to make a better program, to make a better product. And I want to get both of your opinions real quick. Is WWE screwed at this point? I mean, should they have made some kind of deal with one of these companies? Because now it's like you're going to have New Japan guys showing up. The Bullet Club thing is probably going to make a comeback because New Japan owns it, but now they're going to allow these guys to use it. Dave, real quick, what do you think? Is WWE in trouble? Are they in a little bit of trouble?
I mean, I'm not going to say they're in trouble. I mean, it's Vince McMahon. He has money to blow. He still has all these networks that he's working with. The Peacock thing is huge for them. So I wouldn't say they're in trouble. But, you do have he has to, look back and be like, okay, that's something I need to worry about now, or it's something I'm gonna have to worry about in the very near future, because I think everyone wants to see that. Everyone is so big on like, what is it, like fantasy matchups, you know? So now you can see your Kenta and Dean Ambrose. Oh, I'm sorry, John Moxley, and your Rich Swans and Kenny Omegas and all these like different guys who you never would have seen work together because they're different promotions and things like that. To now where you're like, okay, we have that chance to have a Bullet Club reunion or have the Elite versus the Bullet Club, like different little things like that that you, again, it was all fantasy. It was like you created a video game because that's what you want to see. That's who you want to play as or what you want to experience. So I think it's something that they do have to, see in the rearview mirror and be like, okay, that's something we should be concerned about, but let's try to, make a better product. But, that's WWE that they don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, what do you think? You think they're in a little bit of a trouble now? And what should they do to kind of rectify this? And you're the biggest critic of today's product, I'll say. So what do you think? One, are they in trouble? Two, how do they fix this? Because this is a problem for them.
Is it a problem? No.
Not think it's a problem?
Nope. Because Vince McMahon owns more TV time, I think. Is that right? Is the right word? More media. TV. He has more air.
But don't forget the AEW owner. What's his name? I always forget his name.
Tony Khan.
Tony got a lot of money. A lot of money.
He's got a lot of money, but he's not a wrestling guy. His son's a wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. Vince McMahon is the wrestling magnate. Like, I think they're feeling heat, yeah. But I think it would be stupid for Vince to do that because, not stupid. I think they could have, okay, let's, to explain what I'm going to say, because I can't really get it out right now. Let's go back to the 1970s and early 80s. You literally had in Madison Square Garden once a year, Dusty Rhodes from Florida, from the NWA Florida, wrestle Bruno Sammartino or Bob Backlund or whoever. And, it was an interpromotional thing, but they all agreed that, this was, we're going to make money here, you're going to make money here, blah, blah, blah. And they did it as special attractions. Now, I think if they did it that way, instead of like this one's coming here now, this one's coming here, blah, blah, bouncing all over, steady programs and then somebody going off and doing something else is cool. But like if it starts getting like too intertwined and like you start getting whatever, it's gonna my opinion, it's not gonna be good. Like establish yourself on one station, have a feud, go back to the other one. But if you're constantly bouncing around, like I don't know, man, I think people are gonna lose interest in it. I really do. I think the best way to do it is to have, and not even invasion, because the invasion thing is like over with. I don't think that's even fun anymore. I think if they treated it as used the formula loosely that the territories had, because if you remember the AWA, you could have like the Road Warriors would be wrestling in the AWA like 1 month, and they'd jump over to the end of Crockett and do their thing there, or Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda would be there, and Ric Flair would do a shot there. Like I don't know how they did that, but like whatever they did, it worked. Now, if they were to approach it like that and treat it as like a territory kind of thing, and have like there's because dude, it would be really cool to have who's the champion of WWE right now,
Reigns or McIntyre.
So what if Roman Reigns and who's the NWA guy, that Nick Aldis or whatever, is he the champ? What have a match in the Garden with them? That would be really fucking fun. Or have
I like what you're saying about not having it as a permanent thing, having it as like a one-off, as like a territory thing. Like, don't have a full invasion, don't have this and that. Have it as a treat, basically, for us.
Yeah, because you've got to be able to keep your product stable. Because if what's going to happen to me is you're going to rely too much. Like, okay, Kenny Omega's coming to TNA, and he's on TNA too much, and TNA gets this giant shot. And then all of a sudden, Kenny Omega goes back to AEW, and he's feuding with whoever now. and he isn't in TNA anymore. Everybody's going to be tuning in every week to TNA. Well, where the fuck's Kenny Omega? You know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh, well, now you got this guy, this I'm just going to say second-rate guy. That's not a big a name as Kenny Omega. He's going to be there, and they're going to be like, oh, here we go again. We're back to this shit. So I think they need to direct it the right way. And I believe that the WWE could benefit from it, but only like sparingly. Like I'm saying, like you were agreeing. I think they need to be careful on how they do this, because the territory system could be good again to make a lot of guys out there, a lot of indie guys, back in the game to make some more money. You could set up in Florida for 5-6 months. You go up to New York for 6-8 months. You could go to where's NWA, Georgia, for however long. And I don't know where TNA is. Probably Florida. Is everything in Florida?
I think TNA is like in the Carolinas, no?
Is it in the Carolinas? Okay. So seriously, like you could do that, and that would be really cool again, because you could have the wrestling magazines would be cool again, because you could have top tens and this one and that one. Like, I think it's a good thing, but I don't think Vince is feeling any heat from it. Honestly, I know he's not feeling any heat from it. He's not. Because he's saying to himself, they're going to try it again, pal, and I'm going to crush them, which he probably will.
I don't think he's feeling it, though, because right now, I mean, NXT's NXT. His baby is still Raw and SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And as of right now, AEW or none of these guys are going up head-to-head against him. So he's not he's feeling it to like a little bit of a degree, but I feel like until they decide to, hey, we're going to make a show on Monday or a show on Friday to try to, take away whatever ratings and all that, he won't feel it until then.
Tim made a good point, though.
With this new deal, that could be possible.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say.
You just doubled your roster size.
You made a good point with the end up or the NBC thing. What's his face? Wrath of Khan could have all the money in the world, and Vince has ties to NBC. Vince has ties to MTV. Vince has ties to all this other. So with the snap of it, like he's like Thanos of the wrestling world. With the snap of a finger, he could probably get all of them canceled, or fuck with their airtime. You know what I mean? So Vince is probably like, yeah, this is looking bad. Like this isn't not looking bad, but this is looking pretty serious. We should probably, do something to direct our product better. And I can't believe I'm talking like some guy in a boardroom. To do something with the program. And, answer your question. Yes, I think this is good. The whole cooperation thing is good because, like I said, it's reminiscent of the territory days. Like, you could jump from territory to territory. You make some money here. On a handshake agreement, you would be that was your contract back then, and you honored that, and that's what made wrestling cool. So, you did your shot. You go to TNA, you do your shot. You go to AEW, do your shot. Hey, go up to the WWE, do a shot. I mean that's the way it should be. I don't know.
Now, do you think it is at all what are the percentage wise? What are the odds that WWE would actually get involved in this? Strictly from the point of view that you got your Jon Moxley, you got your Rusev, you got your Cody Rhodes, all these guys who have criticized WWE since they left. Vince getting involved in this as them being the big bad guys versus these young up-and-coming superstars who never got a shot would be a fantastic angle. Like you said, though, not drag it out over a whole year, but as a couple pay-per-view thing, I think that would be like a major, major boost. The percentage of it happening, less than 30%, because Vince still has his ego. So I don't think he would. I mean, again, if you're talking about Triple H in charge, I would boost that up a lot more. Vince being in charge, down. No. So what Dave? I know you put it at 0 percentage.
0% chance with Vince there. He's complacent with this product. He's making his billions. He doesn't care. If it was Triple H, like you said, I believe that he would do it.
I think so.
I think it's a good chance with Triple H because he knows where this business is going, who he needs to market. Vince still doesn't. He's still bringing an edge to freaking win the Royal Rumble.
So it's like a Godfather thing where Sollozzo has to take out the Godfather so he can make a deal with Sonny. That's what this is. Vince's Don Corleone. They got to take him out because they know the next guy in charge, Triple H, will want to make that deal. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a weird situation. But I mean, it's gonna be cool to see these Japanese guys. I don't know much about New Japan, so I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen. But I agree with you, Eric. Though it's too much. If it's too much, don't drag it out. You got to make it sparingly. You got to make it interesting. You have to make it for a reason, not just like, well, this guy's going to show up because he can. No, you can't do it that way.
And if they recognize, because here's the deal, like there were only 2, maybe 3 real world champions back then. There was the NWA champion, the WWF champion, and for a long time the AWA champion, who was lesser. He was more like secondary to the NWA champion. He was still recognized, but he was more of a small territory champion. But the NWA champion was right underneath the WWF champion. You know, that's where a lot of people perceived it. Of course, like we were talking about in Mid-South, the NWA champion was it. He was the fucking champion. You weren't arguing with him. If you said Hulk Hogan, they'd say, no, fuck you. It's Ric Flair, you know? So I think they need, figure out who is the top promotion out of the 5. Obviously, it's not New Japan because they have their own thing. They're just going to be coming over and sharing talent. That I understand. But who is the dominant one? Is it AEW? Is it TNA? Is it the NWA? I mean, do you want to go that route and make them the top draw? Make Kenny Omega or John Moxley win that? And you know what I mean? It's like, see, this is cool because see what we're doing. We're going all over this, and this is what makes wrestling fun. This is why it's better when there's more places to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And it's with thinking about what you were saying. It's like I was trying to right now picture. I was like, okay, obviously WWE we have Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, but then from all these other promotions, I'm like, who would be the next guy where you're just like, okay, he's a world champion? Like, yeah, I know you have Kenny, but then you also have, I think who is New Japan? Is it Naito? Like you start thinking, okay, who are your real champions? Like that are your like heavyweight like champions that make you feel like a Roman or a Drew McIntyre or back in the day, Ric Flair and Hogan.
Even Dusty Rhodes. I mean, it's like you've got, and that's the other thing. Every single person who look, Alpha told it to us like this. He goes, I can give you the tools. I can show you how to do this. But it's up to you to use these tools to make it yourself. He goes, 9 out of 10 of you aren't gonna go any further than the independents. He goes, I'm just gonna tell you that. That's just the way it is. And we understood that. And most wrestlers understand that. Look at a baseball player. Not every baseball player is Derek Jeter. Not every football player is Walter Payton. Not every basketball player is Kobe Bryant or MJ. You still got to have guys on a team, you know what I mean, who are good. They're professionals, and they're better than you and I. But WWE's problem to me is they're trying to make everybody the single greatest superstar ever, and they're trying to have a 5-star match when really they should be just going out and honing their skills and working on a good match rather than trying to put themselves over to a crowd who they obviously can't get over to. They're just kind of like, yeah, Nobody gets the pop anymore. AEW has some good pops. I'm not going to lie to you. I've heard a few good pops before the COVID. They were getting there. And even the NWA, like they do that studio wrestling. I mean, they got some cool shit going on in there. So,
well, AEW, even though I still think it's a good product, they're making minor mistakes here and there already. You see they're starting to make a little bit, but that's just normal business, business growth or whatever. I think they say as much as we want to have a faction or two come back, they have too many. They have too many groups. of dudes just hanging out and doing it. It's like, all right, you gotta relax with your factions. WWE needs a couple good ones. You guys got to calm down with all of them. There's so many groups and handshake and it's just stuff going on. You got the Jungle People. You got the Chris Jericho's group. You got the Dark Order, whatever the hell they're called. It's like, all right, take it easy. A Dark Order is like 8 people. You don't need that many people. This isn't the NWO circa 1998 where you had 18 limos pull up and everyone on the hot dog guy is wearing an NWO shirt coming out of the car selling you hot dogs as an NWO member. It was ridiculous after a while. So they should start learning that right now.
But it's funny because the Dark Order ends up being like the reverse NWO because NWO everyone wanted to be in it.
Yeah,
the Dark Order is like no one wants to be in it.
They're trying to get out. Everyone's trying to get in. But Eric, you mentioned Alpha, which is a very good segue to our next topic because WWE released their first Icon episode, which is one that we will not debate because we all agreed that if anyone deserved an Icon episode, it is definitely Yokozuna. And 100%. I think we can all agree that Lex Luger still doesn't deserve one, but that's a whole nother ball of wax.
You know what? We'll talk about it another time, but I'm going to say yes, he does.
He does. Are you going to switch?
I'm going to say yes, he does. I had to think about it for a long time.
Oh, he's a murderer. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to. He said Lex Luger. Now he thinks he deserves a Icon.
I think he does. And I'll explain it at another time, but this is about Yoko.
That's fine. So. That's fine. All right. So, Eric, did you get the chance to watch it? And what did you think of the episode?
Thought it was one of the best I've ever seen. It was good to see Alpha again because, he moved to Florida. I can't even go down to, PA if I wanted to ever reconnect and visit with him because he lived in PA, but now he lives in Florida. But it was so good to see him again. It was good to see Lloyd. I'm good friends with Lloyd. I still talk to him on Facebook Messenger, once in a while. Sam, I'm friends with on Facebook. So I still have a connection with some of the guys. I mean, I don't talk to them all the time, but I do talk to them. And it was heartwarming for me because I got to meet Yoko. I trained when he was there for a couple weeks. And maybe a little more than that, and it was just surreal. And then going back and looking, I was like, wow, man, this is there's this stuff you forget, how good he was, how good of a worker he was, how crisp he was, how he just knew, everything, and he's so passionate about it. It's there's nothing about it I didn't love. So there's nothing really more generally I can say about it, it was a fantastic episode.
Dave, how about you?
I actually haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but everything Dave, that I've heard.
Not doing your homework, Dave? Come on.
This week was a little rough.
Oh, it's okay. We understand. But
definitely everything I've seen from it, and hearing you guys talk about it, it definitely, I know I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, it's definitely a tearjerker.
Can we tell the story? A quick one that Rikishi told it.
Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah.
What did you think, Tim, about when he said he bought the house and he closed on it and he moved in, he didn't have a heating system or anything in it, and Yoko this is Rikishi, bought a house, he has the kids. I don't think he has 4 more kids other than the Usos. And he said he spent basically everything he had to get the house, get it set, get it paid, and he didn't have he didn't know the heating system was bad or something. It needed all new, whatever. And Yoko just the next day or whatever brought over a blank check and he goes, "Here you go get your heating system."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess as large as he was, his heart was 10 times as large.
They said that he would literally, figuratively, and literally give you the shirt off his back. If you needed it. You know what, though? I watched this episode, and of course, of what we heard over the years, and Eric, you obviously met a couple of them, but even just in pop culture in general, or just being a human being, you notice that these Samoans, man, loyal, passionate, probably the sweetest people on the planet. I really need a Samoan friend. I'm gonna say it right now. I want a Samoan friend because I know that dude's gonna run through a wall for me if I really needed him to. What a great bunch of people. What a great family. I was surprised that Rock and Nia Jax didn't make an appearance. Especially the Rock, because Rock was, he was huge in 2000. He was huge at the end of Yoko's run.
Rock.
They mentioned his father and his grandfather. I mean,
the High Chief. Rock didn't go through the family to get into the business though. Like he went through
his dad.
I think Jarrett and Harvey Whippleman. I don't know. He didn't go through Vince or Alpha or anybody like that. I don't know how. Probably his dad introduced him to Jarrett. His dad was a big star in Memphis.
Yeah, it was his dad. His dad got him in.
Yeah. So, and you could and Rocky could work, man. He was a good worker, Rocky Johnson. But you could, and we even used to like it. It wasn't like a joke. But like every time we'd have a match or every time we'd be down training, one of the guys would say like, now see, if you watch Rock, you can tell he wasn't trained by us. And as you know, Tim, they take pride in the training. But as you saw in the Yoko video about Alpha and Sika, how they train people. Like, you saw that, how Rikishi and Sam and even Tonga Kid, they were all like, our uncles, that was it, because they took him in and they trained him. So like, and that's no joke, because I went through that. I went through all the stuff that they did, and it's no joke. But like I said, passionate, yeah, and a respect, yeah. It's like, dude, they're one of the most beautiful families I've ever been fortunate to be, a part, have something to, accept me to train and be part of that. They accept me into the circle. But dude, they're just, it's so sad watching what happened to him, because like I told you, when I met him, he was getting there. But
yeah, he had to be big by the time even bigger.
He was really
and that's
big.
That's the one thing that you'll see it, Dave. I'm not trying to spoil it for you, but they have video of him in independent league and other wrestling shows running big, like 700 pounds big. Yet he was still dropping that leg. He was still moving around. I mean, he couldn't. Let's put it this way: he couldn't walk to the ring, but once he got in the ring, he did everything. He was dropping that leg like nothing. And he was all pumped up. He was ready to go. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But, obviously his plane rides were very bad, and he didn't like to travel because he was too big. And but he got really, really big. Really big at the end.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was sad. And believe me, take it from a fat guy, when all you want, when you just love something as much as food does, man, especially when you're someone like me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I just like to eat, man. It's one of those things. And he's like, well, you have to eat to live, but you can't eat more. It's like, well,
Jesus
that sucks.
Christ. You just outed me on everything, because now everybody's going to look at me. You're 45 and you look so good. Oh, yeah, it's because I smoke, drink, and do drugs. That's why I look so fucking good. Because
all I'm saying is, when you have your vices,
I know you
control them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My one vice is food, and it's like, oh, well, you need food to live, but not the way you do it, not the way you're eating. Like,
right.
All right.
No.
And he was the same way. I mean, he was in rehab and had guys sneaking in buckets of chicken for him. I mean, that's how bad he was. And thank God I'm not at that level. I'm not paying people to sneak me in buckets of chicken someplace, because then I would really have a problem. But
God.
Dave, you should definitely try to watch it as soon as possible. It was a great start to the Icon episodes. I don't know who is next. Remember who's next on that list?
Wasn't it
Is it Beth Phoenix? Is she next?
No.
Let me see.
It's not Luger, right?
No, it's somebody else. I thought it was a tag team, but maybe not.
On an Icon? I don't know if there was a time. I don't know, whatever.
Maybe not. Maybe.
But it was a great. I just saw it. WWE's hitting out of the park with these documentaries and the way they're doing it. And I hope they keep keeping them up, keep doing them the way they are doing them. They are fantastic. And real quick before we get going to on another episode, another topic, a lot of anniversaries this week. And today is a big one. Today's the anniversary of Andre the Giant beating Hulk Hogan on Saturday night's main event for the world title.
I know exactly where I was. And I bet you do too. Where were you, Tim?
I was in my house in Queens in Woodside. Watching it with my mother. My mother, anyway, I know it was late. My father was telling me I got to be quiet because my father was sleeping at the time. But I was so I was all pumped up and excited to watch it. And when he lost, because I was over Hulkamania by then anyway. But when he lost, I was like, "What just happened?" I was like, "This can't be real. There's no way." And then even I was going, "He didn't count to 3. He kicked out at 1. Like, what the hell's going on here?"
Yeah,
and
shoulder
then,
was
yeah. And then the whole double referee, and I was just like, "I like this is kind of ridiculous." And the best was Hogan was screaming, "How much did he spend on the plastic surgery? How much did he spend on the plastic surgery?" I was like, "Wow, this is absolutely nuts." And then I remember a month later in the WWE magazine, it painted. Wait, who was the ref? Was it Earl? Who was the bad
Earl
one?
was the one that fucked him over, and Dave was supposed to be the guy.
All right, so Dave, so it was Dave and Earl on a magazine with like a lightning bolt down the thing, and it said the evil twin. And I was like, oh my god, they're twins, and now one of them's evil. And I was like, this. I thought it was hysterical after that. But like you said, what happened? What this led to? The Macho Man winning at WrestleMania 4. So this is one of my favorite anniversaries, and it was also a great moment having Andre actually win the title, whether it counted or not.
It counted.
Great. And stupid Jack Tunney had to take it away from him. That damn Jack Tunney.
And what are some other significant anniversaries that we had this week?
Oh, again, it's also the third was the Mega Power Meltdown when Hulk Hogan left his partner in the ring to get beaten severely. And it wasn't like it was the conquistadors. He was getting beat by the Twin Towers, getting beat by Akeem and the Big Boss Man. He showed his true colors. He showed his lusts for Elizabeth. He showed he was yellow. So Macho Man had no choice but to retaliate. Maybe he got a little overzealous, but it was the end of the Mega Powers after that, and that was another great moment in wrestling history for myself.
I was leaning more towards was Kerry's birthday, right?
Oh yeah,
the other day.
that too.
The second, Kerry Von Erich would have been 61. The Texas Tornado would have been 61.
Steve, you know I'm speaking the truth. You know he had lust. You know he had lust.
And he's yellow.
He's yellow. What are you doing with the ruler, man?
I'm trying to make my mouth go through. This is harder than it looks. Never mind.
Anytime dudes have rulers laying around, people think you're doing weird stuff with it.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, measuring for measuring's sake. Listen, boss man. You know how I feel about that.
Oh wow, look how big my phone is.
you go back months to SummerSlam, and Hogan's accidentally putting his hand on Elizabeth's ass. It was coming, and it was deserved. And Hogan got what he deserved.
We also have the anniversary of the death of one of my favorite wrestlers. I even posted it today, Gino Hernandez.
Which I honestly did not know about him until that Dark Side of the Ring episode, and he looked like I didn't even know about him.
Oh, you need to go back and watch classic. If you can find like a montage of classic Gino Hernandez on YouTube, Tim, please do it. You'll fall in love with Gino Hernandez. He was like Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and just dude. He was all of them. But he would have been in the WWF, and he would have been. Really, Eric, of course. What do you mean?
The ruler.
It's Eric, ruler. Of course. Hey, listen. Just because there's a line laying on a table doesn't mean I'm going to snort it, okay? And just because there's a hole in this. So anyway, Gino Hernandez. Gino was so great. Like, he was over everywhere he went. He lived like he was like the southern. I don't want to say the southern Ric Flair, but like he was just like he had the cars. He would go with the women, but he lived it. Like he really did it. Like, but the problem is the excess of living, the cocaine, getting caught up in all that shit. He just went up too fast and fell too far. You know. But Gino was awesome.
I think that's why Flair survived so long. I think I'm not saying he didn't do drugs, but he probably stayed away from the heavy stuff on most of his life, or else he would be dead.
Definitely, he just did the alcohol, like because there's only like two people that could and would survive. It's Ozzy Osbourne and Keith Richards. They're the only ones that are making it. But yeah, no, Gino Hernandez, like Tim, I'm really surprised you never heard
He
of
died
him.
Didn't he die in 86, 85?
86.
I don't know why I never heard of him. Like
30,
I never heard of him until that Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Yeah, it's 35
But he
years
wasn't.
ago.
He never made it to WWE, right? He was always in.
Always there. I don't know. A lot of the world class used to do shots in the Garden, like up till like 85, 84, 85. Because even like Kerry and Kevin and David all did a shot in the WWF, like back in the day. Matter of fact, there were rumors that David was going to come to the WWF, like after he lost the NWA World Title back to Ric Flair, because he was supposed to win it and not Kerry, but he died, so Kerry won it. But like David was being groomed to be whatever, but they even thought David would be good in the WWF, and Vince wanted Devon Eriks. It's no secret he wanted him, but Gino.
Yeah, we know what happened there.
You've got to check Gino out, man. What's he called?
No, I'll check him out.
The Latin?
Latin lover, something like that.
Something. Oh, he had a fucking bunch of cool nicknames, but he was such a prick.
Tell you right now.
I'll check him out.
Yeah. To what, Dave? You got Gino?
Hold up, I'm looking it up.
I was playing producer.
Yeah, well. That's what Dave is, man. Dave's the
Look, as long as you keep your newfound relationship on the A to Z program, kayfabe, it's okay. I have no problem with this, but you got to keep it real. You got to keep it real, guys.
He was known as the Handsome Halfbreed.
The Handsome Halfbreed. That's
Dude,
what it was.
Is hysterical.
Isn't that great? And he made that up. I think he even had a shirt that said that.
Wow, that's a great name. The Handsome Halfbreed. That could be Derek Jeter.
He was his real name was what? Charles Eugene Wolfe?
Sir. His real name is Charles Eugene Wolfe Jr.
Wolf Jr. I like the Halfbreed better. That sounds much
the
more.
Handsome head.
Wow.
And dude, watch some of his matches and promos.
He died at 28. That's surreal.
Isn't that weird, man?
Yeah.
How?
All right, guys. Let's just get into something real quick. Then, like I said before we get going, it's a Friday night. Everybody wants to go relax. The Royal Rumble was this past week. Not so many surprises. Like I said, the three of us picked the final three women. We pretty much the men's wasn't too much of a surprise either. I think David, didn't you nail Edge? You said Edge, right?
No. I said Daniel Bryan.
You said Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan.
you said Daniel Bryan, but which was believable?
Anybody say Edge?
Nope.
No.
Maybe the Boss.
Did I? Did I pick Edge?
I don't know. I think somebody did.
Who did I pick? I didn't pick Edge.
You picked AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. That's who I picked.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, real quick then. Steve said Edge. He said Edge.
It was Steve.
Yeah.
That's it. He shot it out there. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna pick Edge.
That's right. He said he's making blind picks. That's right.
With no research or credence to it.
That's like how the women pick the horse races because they like the name, like pretty colors, and that's how they pick them sometimes.
I want Seabiscuit to win.
So, Dave, overall, give me your opinion on the entire pay per view, the good, the bad, the ugly. Any surprises? Any not surprises? Anything along those lines?
Honestly, I really enjoyed the pay per view. I thought it was good up until the men's Royal Rumble. I really think Edge had no reason winning it. I understand, hey, it's a great story. He's coming back from, 9-10 years of not being there, having to retire early and all that. But we're running into the same thing that we talked about in that previous show. You're not building anybody. You're bringing in part-timers to win. It's just him winning the Royal Rumble to have a match at WrestleMania for whatever championship he decides to fight is the same thing as if Brock Lesnar would have came in and won. Or Goldberg comes in and wins. It's the same issue. You're not building anybody. Instead, you're just giving this other guy. The fact that him and Christian were the bottom. No. The fact that him and Christian had were one of the final four Final
Mm-hmm.
five is ridiculous to me. Why? You're not building anybody. He already won it. He's won the Royal Rumble. Have him face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Have him face Orton again if they want to. But for him to have a match for a championship, let alone either the WWE or Universal Championship, to me is nonsense. You're not building anything there. Yes, it's a great story, but you need to look towards the future. And Edge is not the future right now. He's the past. He's your nostalgia act, which I get it. You want at WrestleMania, but man, you're doing such a disservice to a bunch of other guys. Your AJ Styles, your Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan, who any of those two guys are gonna end their career not winning a Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And I think that's such a disservice.
And
to
hasn't
them.
Edge already won one?
Yeah,
Dude, he's like 13-time champion. Like, he doesn't need it.
13-time champion.
10, 13, isn't he, Dave? I believe he is double digits. I'm almost positive.
he is double digits.
And don't forget his 10-time tag team titles, the IC title, the hardcore title, the European title, the whatever
So-
the hell else he's won over his career. He doesn't
basically-
need to win the Royal Rumble in 2021.
So
He
basically, titles and wins now don't have that same zest that they used to because of guys like him, because of the
Edge has won 11 World Championships.
11. And how many tag titles?
Tag
He won
titles
With Christian and he won with Orton.
two-
and Hogan. Remember that little nugget?
Holy crap! He's won 12 times with 12 times the. Holy crap! I can't even count. It's four. He's a 14-time tag team champion.
Yeah,
Holy
Christian,
shit.
Christian, Orton, and Hulk Hogan, if I'm not mistaken.
He has 7 with Christian, 1 with Hogan, twice with Benoit, 1 with
Benoit.
Orton, 1 with Jericho, once with Mysterio, and then another time with Jericho. So twice with Jericho.
Wow. That's out of control.
14 times.
who
team
books this shit? Like,
See, and that's why we talk every week, because this is like, it's like you said. And going into it, I believe we also said the women's was going to be more interesting than the men's, and we were right.
yeah,
We were right. The women's was way more interesting, was way better. And who was at the end of that match? 2 future stars, the future of the company. So it's like, did Triple H pick the winner of the women's and Vince pick the winner of the men's? I would really love to know how they figured that out. Because when it came down to Belair and Rhea Ripley, I was like, finally. And when Charlotte was in there, Eric, I'm sorry. I was like, they better not let her beat both of these girls, because I would have been pissed. I probably would have shut it off. Went to sleep, curl in a little ball, and just go, why, Jesus, why? Because it's just not right. But yeah, they did the right thing. 2 future stars out there. Women's better than the men's Royal Rumble. And that's crazy.
Absolutely. Look, the last 5 was what? Orton, Edge, Seth Rollins, Strowman, and Christian. Like, that's your final 5? Why is Cesaro not one of those guys?
exactly.
Why is Daniel Bryan not one of those guys? Like, it just made no sense. Like, I saw it go down and I was like, no. Oh, God, it's getting worse. And I'm like, they're going to make Edge win this? Like, why? He doesn't need it. You're not
know what it
building
says, though?
anybody.
Do you know what it says, though, Dave? It says that they can't build a star anymore, and they have to rely on guys to get over, because Edge got the biggest pop, and he was over. Not as over as Cena, not as over as Taker or even Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels, but he, in modern standards, is more over than the guys are now. Because really, who's really over right now? I mean, you guys have to answer this, because I really can't. Who is the most over? Give me 2 guys that are over right now in the WWE.
McIntyre.
Okay.
I
really
wouldn't even
over.
say. I would say Reigns is over with his new persona, and even though it's probably give Paul Heyman all the credit, but still, I think he really is still over as far as that goes. Are they again? But I think what you're saying, Eric, there's no face of the company. There isn't.
Well,
They're
not
not
even that.
going
Like,
to build. They're not going to build a TV series around Drew McIntyre. It's not going to happen.
they're just not. They don't have that X factor that like Rock or Austin or Cena. You know, Cena was the last guy to have that whatever it
Reach,
is.
that pull.
Yeah,
But it's because all the guys that they can do that with, they've literally buried.
yeah, and they
like-
dump.
They just okay, yeah, it doesn't matter what happens with them. We're just gonna brush them to the side, and then, hey, here comes Goldberg. Here comes Brock Lesnar. Here
Here
comes
comes
Edge
Edge.
now. Undertaker even for a while, and then it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's good to see, and like you said, you have people like Steve that are happy, but you're not building anything. Where when all these guys leave, what are you gonna have?
Yeah.
And then
What are you gonna have?
you're gonna be panicking and running into, oh shoot, who do we push? Who do we push? Who do we push?
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%.
And you mentioned Cesaro, and I said you even Eric, you know that Cesaro might be the best pure fucking wrestling athlete in that company,
I think
and
so.
they do nothing with him. So now his
Nothing.
contract's supposed to be coming up. If he leaves, he's going to go to AEW, and guess what? He'll win that world title within the first 6 months because that's what they're doing. They're giving all these guys their titles to placate them. And then what are they going to do with them? Again, like AEW is getting so overrun with angry WWE wrestlers, they're going to have too many pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because you got Rusev, you got all these guys going over there, popping in. I'm the angry guy. I hate WWE. Fuck Vince. Oh, we like you. We're going to sign you. Here's your world title in the first 3 months, and now you're going to go sit in the back for the next 3 years because we gave you what you wanted. It's going to be very bad eventually.
I think they need enhancement talent again.
Jobbers?
I think they need to have shows like Superstars and Wrestling Challenge.
But see, I think you're right. They should have enhancement talent, but I don't think it should be Joe Schmo from like South Carolina. You know, you build like your Brooklyn Brawlers. You can have that. You know, someone's got to do the job eventually. So why not? I don't think it should always be just someone random. I think it should be like, you know, a Lindsay Dorado or something. Just build people like that to, like, you know, they can have a good match, but you're still gonna job to, you know, whoever it is to build them up.
I think the enhancement talent was good because it gave you a chance to establish the boundaries between face and heel, and it had a better setup for feuds, and you didn't blow your load every Monday and Thursday with a main event match every single match, because it's lost its luster. Like an actual wrestling match has lost its luster so bad in the last like 20 years. It's almost embarrassing. It's like fuck. This isn't even what, you know what I mean. If there's a main event every match, everybody's a superstar. And like I said, you're not everybody is going to be a fucking superstar. Not everybody is going to be Ric Flair, Taker, Hogan, Savage. Like, there's got to be Tito Santana's. There's got to be Jose Luis Rivera's and Johnny Rod's and like Steve Lombardi and Jim Powers and all them. Like, there's got to be guys like that.
That's my favorite Howard Finkel jobber introduction. Jose Luis Rivera. I love the way he said that. That was my favorite guy. But like, no, I love what you said, Eric, and you nailed it right in the head too. Especially, we've had Edge and Orton now. They had the greatest match in the world, whatever that was called, and they're beating the crap out of each other. And then you get the main event at the pay-per-view where they beat the shit out of each other. Next night on Raw, we'll do it one more time. No. You had a 6-month lead up to their big fight. End it. It's over. Remember, like back in the day when Hogan beat Andre at WrestleMania 3, they didn't start feuding again.
No.
What happened was they brought in Ted DiBiase, who buys Andre. So they were feuding, but they weren't feuding. Hogan moved on, but Andre was always still there lurking in the background, which led to the Saturday Night's main event, which led to WrestleMania 4, blah, 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 blah. They're beating the shit to death. They beat these matches to death over and over again every single week. And I don't understand why they're doing it.
But we've said it before, where you have a match on a pay-per-view, and then on Raw, you have the same freaking match, and it's like, why?
Yeah, they even did it in the Attitude Era. Like, they started that, and it's like, oh.
But remember, too, even back in the day, it was great because it was like, oh, my God, they had this bloody feud for 6 months, and they hashed it out as a pay-per-view. The next day, you don't even know they fought. You just move on. Like, you just completely forget that you feuded. Shawn Michaels feuded with Razor Ramon for 6 months. Whoever won that match at WrestleMania, the next day, they moved on. And while it was kind of silly, it was still fun. It was still great because that's it. You move on, and if they cross paths again because, like I said, they made a lot of money together. They'll circle around. but they're not going to beat it like a dead horse for another 6 months.
You know, shows like Wrestling Challenge and Superstars and those kind of shows, your top guy on those shows, let's be honest, was the Intercontinental Champion, because you didn't see the World Champion only for an interview. The Intercontinental was made really for a wrestler, like a worker, a technical. That was the technical title, basically. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that was your featured guy, or your like second or third over babyface was you know what I mean? They had it down really, really good. And the world champion, you might see him have a special non-title match. You might have him see a gimmick tag match. They'll wrestle on Saturday night's main event once a month. They'll wrestle at one of the 4 pay-per-views that they had, 3 really back then. And it's like, it kept the mystique alive. Like, I get it, okay? The world champion's not going to work as much as the Intercontinental champ or the tag champs. Or, and you're going to have your second or third babyface is going to be basically, bringing the crowd up until the main event. Like Bruce Pritchard, the fucking dumb fuck, always says, your A shows, your B shows, and your C shows. You know what I mean? And once in a while, they throw you a bone, like they throw Hogan to a C show or Savage to a B show, just to get something different going. But you had your A, B, and C shows. I think they need to. I'm not saying go right back and copy the same thing that they did. I'm saying use that formula and formulate it to today. I know the business has changed. I know money's all guaranteed now. And I know that there's more high spots, and I know that the guys are in better condition. But use what brought it here to make it cool again. Like, it's just not. It's cool, but it's not cool.
And like on top of that too, like you said, I've said it 1,000 times on this show, especially why I love house shows better than all these pay-per-views, because the house shows allows the wrestler to expand a little bit, have a little fun with the crowd, work on some stuff, interact a little more. It wasn't all about storyline. They have fun at those goddamn house shows. They enjoy the house shows. That's why I love them so. And the fact that they may get rid of them altogether makes me freaking sick, because I absolutely love. I would rather go to a house show in bumfuck Pennsylvania somewhere than go to a pay-per-view at the Garden. It's just a fact. Because the Garden, they're sticking to the script, they're sticking to this, they're sticking to the commercials, all that stuff. I'd never have to go to a Raw or a SmackDown ever again, especially because of the commercials. That drives me crazy. But house shows, I absolutely love them. You got an hour and a half of pure talent. You got an intermission, and you got another hour and a half. The main event's usually pretty cool. The interaction with the crowds is great. And the fact that they take those away, I'm going to be pissed. Because like you said, that's their superstars now. That's their independent. That's where they get to work on all their stuff. Now, you're going to take that away. And that's not good. It's not good at all.
Now, if you can't convince Vince to do something, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
If you can't convince him, hey, this is going to work, you're basically screwed.
Yeah, instead of try it out a few house shows. We'll see if it works. No more house shows. No, you're right. Well, I have this idea. Well, that's stupid. That's stupid. Well, yeah, but then what if it's never gonna work? He'll go to another company and he'll get over it. He'll be like, I don't think it'll work. It's ridiculous.
It is, because we're in an era now where, with social media and access to any kind of content, wrestling content you want at your hands whenever you want it, you don't have to rely on house shows as your bread and butter anymore, because the live events were what really made the money. Mm-hmm. The TV sold the product, and you bought the product at the live matches that you go to. If superstars happen to be in your city, or Wrestling Challenge, or Primetime Wrestling, whatever it was awesome. It was like a treat. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to the live show, the house show, the spot show. You know what I mean? So I think it's gone too far. I think they got too many writers. I think they got too many producers. I know everything gets funneled through Vince, but old fucking silly putty face needs to go down to the Bahamas or wherever he goes. Take his helmet head wife, and whatever else they want to do. I don't just sit out there in the sun and drink your kelp shake, and Linda can eat her 5 grain. I don't know what they do, okay, but they can just go and sit on the beach and just leave us the fuck alone.
I want to see how far you're gonna go. How far you're gonna
let Triple H and keep Stephanie out of it, because Stephanie, you know what? No. I can't bring myself to say what I want to say. That's why I got a little bit.
I think you can cut Stephanie some slack. I think she.
I want to, but she's too fucking like trendy ass kissy. Oh, we're trying. She's so fucking phony, man. When she's on media, when she's on a show. Oh yes. Oh this. No, just be yourself. Fucking Vince McMahon never pretended. He never pretended. He was on Stern, never pretended. Bob Costas never pretended. Did everybody like what he had to say? No. But he was real. Stephanie's a phony bitch. The only time she's ever real. Huh?
I thought he was going to fight Bob Costas. I really did.
Yeah, he was fucking mad at him. He would have killed Bob Costas. He would have killed everybody in the studio, which would have been funny. And, Stephanie's just, I get it. She's all right. But, dude, Triple H is the passionate wrestling guy. You got to give him 75, 80% of the control. Okay? Yeah. Let Vince do the lunch menu. Let Vince do, like, the DVD release or whatever. Are there even DVDs anymore? I don't know. But
no, everything streams now.
Let him do the streaming. Let him go to NBC and talk to Dick Ebersol, and they can rub fucking raspberry jam all over each other's nose and feet. And whatever those millionaire weirdos do, light their clothes on fire.
You have a very weird perception of rich people.
I don't know what they do. Like, they fucking, they eat mayonnaise with a spoon.
Why would you rub raspberry jam all over each other's feet?
Yeah, they're fucking weird. I don't know. What they probably, what do they keep, like, camels as pets in their basement? I don't know what they do. But, like,
if Eric ever hits the lotto, he's going to go out and buy raspberry jam just in case someone wants to rub it on his feet.
I would love to see what's going to happen. He's like, what do I do with this money now?
I know,
like, if we're get a camel.
If we become like big stars, like you guys coming over tonight? Yeah, and you see me, I'm laying there like in this big like rhinestone robe, and like this raspberry jam, like a tub of it. And there's like this camel like eating in the corner. You guys like, okay, I'm out. I knew it.
See you later.
I knew it. I knew you were fucked up. So, but seriously, Vince, like I said, he doesn't even need to give 100%. Let Triple H have 70% control. Let him direct the company, the product, the guys, what you see. I want to see raspberry jam again. Steve, I'm sorry. When you're having your English muffin tomorrow morning, watching the scorpions crawl across your lawn, think of me. So, do you have scorpions down? You do, right? They're like everywhere down there.
Down here, I've never really seen a scorpion. I know we have snakes.
Okay, maybe that's Arizona. What's the difference?
Strauss, I already took it off, and I'm not putting it back on again. It's very cumbersome.
Tim and his Yokozuna outfit. Did you have one?
The big diaper is very cumbersome, so I took it off. So sorry.
What's that actually called? Like a sumo gi?
I don't know. I call it a diaper. A diaper and a red sash. And tights.
They have got serious ass cheeks. You ever see that? You ever see a sumo fight?
Was no joke.
They grab each other by the ass. I mean, is that legal? That's what they do.
Anything to get them out of the
sumo heel.
Let's get away from raspberry feet and giant asses for a second, so we can wrap this up soon. But Dave, let me ask you one more question. Where the hell was the Fiend? I mean, it's a
teasing him for something.
Storyline. It's a major plot point. Nowhere to be found. I thought he was going to pull Orton out of the ring, cost him the title, cost him the Royal Rumble. Nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Alexa Bliss is cutting these hilarious cuts. You know, they're taking advantage of no audience because they're editing all this shit together,
But that
which
honestly,
is funny.
for the women's Royal Rumble, I thought she was gonna turn and I was gonna lose my shit. I thought it was gonna be great,
Yeah,
but they
I
ended
did
up
too.
eliminating her beforehand. So, but my thought is that she's gonna take it out of Elimination Chamber. That's I think where she beats Asuka.
Eric, I don't know if you know what we're talking about. With no audience, they now edit some of this stuff before. So Alexa
So
Bliss is basically she's Alexa Bliss with the pigtails and the smiling face, and she's crazy. And then they'll have to hit the music, and she'll come back, and she'll be old Alexa Bliss, and be all normal, like, "Hey, it's just me." And then hit the lights again, and come back, and she'll be with the red eyes and all evil and drooling blood and stuff. But they're taking advantage of this no audience crap.
so they can edit. They have edit, and they can refine it, and so basically, it's not even a wrestling match anymore. It's just a television show. Like,
For that kind of stuff. Yeah, half this stuff. I don't even think Raw's live anymore. I think
I don't
95%
think it
of
is.
it. I think
I
95%
don't think it
of it
is.
is taped because they can do whatever they want right now with no audience. But
Yeah,
even I find the Alexa Bliss thing funny. I don't want them to go too far with this editing shit before. But again, here we have the Fiend, major storyline with Randy Orton, major thing going on, doesn't even make an appearance at a major pay-per-view. Why? It doesn't make any
They
freaking sense.
they were building off that Edge Orton thing, like it still matters.
But that's the thing, though. Up until that moment, it was all about Orton and the Fiend. But now that Edge had to come back for the no. Now all of a
Now
sudden,
it's like, yeah, they put it to the side.
Remember 7 months ago when Edge and Orton were fighting each other? Forget about the Fiend. Let's get back to that. It's like, what? You can't do that. You can't just push
That's what I'm saying.
aside. You're probably one of your most popular stars, whether you like it or not. Oh, because something happened 7 months ago that you might have forgot about.
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
no.
It's crazy. I mean, it really is crazy. But let's get to the good news too. Goldberg lost. That's good news.
Yes.
Very good
Thank
news.
God.
Again,
And
another
he was wearing
horrible match.
shorts.
Yes, and he was wearing shorts.
It was. I was like, wait, what is this?
Yeah. What he
He's
looked
back
like?
in Goldberg down below. But yeah, whatever. But thank God he lost. But again, it was another horrible match. Another suplex finisher, suplex, chop finisher, reverse finisher, chop, headbutt, fall down finisher match.
He was
It's like,
gassed too.
what just happened? Like, why? And again, it's an insult to McIntyre as much as it is to us. That's why, and Eric, that's why you can't have your superstar, your world champion, because you're feeding him Goldberg instead of a legitimate contender at a major pay-per-view.
Yeah, and you need somebody to build up to be his contender. You can't just like one day, Xavier Woods comes out. I'm tired of it, and build him up like Sheamus. Like, fella, yeah, I'm gonna beat you, fella. Yeah, well,
Sheamus
fella,
turned on
go
him.
back to
Yeah, Sheamus
Ireland,
turned on
fella. Go get a reverse tan, fella. Whatever it is. How do you get that white? I'm not even that white.
No one's that white.
No one's that white. What the fuck's wrong with him?
No one is white as Sheamus.
Wow, vitamin D? What's he lacking? Holy cow, Dave.
Super white.
This is why Dave is the best. This is why Dave is best to predict, because I can get him laughing so bad, and he can do something. He does something back. It's so much fun.
So, what did you guys think of Orton faking the injury at the beginning of the Rumble?
You knew it. That's why when I was doing the Rumble, I was crossing the stuff out. I didn't cross his name out. I knew he was coming back, and I was scared he was going to win. I was like, please God. But then I thought, all right, he's going to come back and cheat, and then the Fiend is going to take him out. I'm like, okay, I'll take that, even though I didn't want Edge winning either. But I would accept it if the Fiend came in and cost Randy Orton the match. Nope.
Why wasn't he even in the Royal Rumble?
Dude, we don't. That's what I'm saying. You got your most popular guy, one of your most popular guys, and they just don't even bring him in.
I would have been okay if he came out at like 28 or 20, whatever, and won. Like, that would have been cool.
No, they don't do
Okay, it
stuff like
wouldn't
that.
have been cool.
They don't do stuff like that.
Like I said, they were too preoccupied with Orton, Edge still, and trying to finally end that feud. But it's like, come on, man. I
agree, David. Fucking
what was the other one? Sasha Banks did win. That was a pretty decent match. It wasn't too bad.
No, I actually think Carmella did pretty good in that match.
Yeah, she was actually
Yeah.
well improved. She was well improved in that match.
Is she the one that was with Enzo and Cass?
Yes.
Yes. She's well improved since those days. That's for sure.
Speaking of Enzo and Cass, they dropped the ball on that too because they were over like big time.
You know what, Larry? I'm on
Yeah.
your side how much they were over, but they couldn't wrestle for shit.
No,
Especially
but-
Enzo. Enzo couldn't wrestle for shit.
they needed to stay in NXT for another 8 months, year.
Yeah.
You know what screwed over their run though? It was the Hardy Boys coming back at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Again, fantastic moment. I was there. I had goosebumps.
You saw that one?
Yeah, it was in
Where was
Orlando.
Orlando. Okay.
And it was something no one expected, but that killed their run. And then after that, they had their little feud that went nowhere, and then Enzo winning. Enzo did good as a cruiserweight champion. He was
He
a
did
hot
okay.
deal. People did not like him.
No.
People hated
They
him.
should have
So-
ran with that.
But I think
Hated him.
they ended up letting him go because he had some allegations against him that I think ended up not being anything. It was just some girl that accused him of something, and
Yeah, he
I
got
think
cleared.
it was all
got-
false. Yeah, it was falsely.
and
She
they
got-
released him before
They tried to
was
be a
able to prove
rapper.
anything.
Yeah, they tried to be a rapper, and his album flopped.
I think they should sign him back.
And then Big Cass got real fat and had a heart attack, and I haven't
He was
heard from him
drinking.
since then.
He was drinking like 17 malt liquors a day, right, or something.
Well, we seen him at that independent show that I took Jax to, and he looked terrible. But still, I can't knock him. He's a nice dude, very nice. Both of them were very nice when we met them, super beyond nice. So, but yeah, they're another. But I mean, even I would defend him, but Enzo was shit in the ring. He needed a partner. I don't think his singles career wasn't going to go anywhere. He was a good heel though, but he was a horrible wrestler.
So
He was all about that
knocked himself
gimmick.
out with the rope.
Yeah, he was all about that gimmick, and that gimmick was great for them. The entrance and all that stuff. I mean, there was nothing bigger than that entrance.
No, that was the
going
biggest. That got the biggest pop since Austin.
Which I'm sure Vince hated. Fucking entrance. The Bobby Roode entrance.
But what does Vince want? He doesn't want him to wrestle. He doesn't want an entrance. He doesn't want people to cheer. What the fuck is right? I told you that when the rich guys get old and they get weird, and it's just. I'm not even going to bring up the raspberry jam. I just don't think. I think they get so disoriented. Too much. What is this? Is the air at a country club different than in downtown? Well, I don't know. What the fuck is wrong with these guys?
I don't know. It's a weird situation.
It is.
What was that last match? Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, last man standing, which went a little too far.
It
They
was a little
botched
long.
They botched the entire ending because they couldn't get the cuffs off Reigns. So the referee had to stop counting in a last man standing match. Stupid. Right there, that should be the argument for Kevin Owens. I won. This idiot stopped counting. That should be part of the next storyline. I won. He stopped counting. Why did the referee stop counting? But no, they won't even do that. They'll just ignore it and pretend it goes away.
And it was a good
yeah,
setup too, where he pulls the ref. The ref gets
knocks
knocked.
the ref out.
They shouldn't even have brought out another referee until Roman got up from that.
Yeah, exactly. But as
And
far
then
as the match
Uso
goes, it
was
was
nowhere
alright.
to be found either.
Yeah,
surprised.
another weird thing. No Usos.
No, I
Kevin
thought.
Owens' Swanton off the thing was pretty cool. I thought that was a good spot. Even though I laughed my ass off because I saw the pallet with that big metal piece bolted in. I said to my wife, "You see that big metal piece?" I said, "Isn't it a coincidence that metal there happens to be bolted to that skid so Kevin Owens can stand on it and get his full balance? Isn't that a great coincidence?" Because as soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh, he's going on that." Because why would you have this giant piece of metal bolted to a skid for no reason? I'm like, oh, he's going to be stepping on that thing any second now. And he
If
did.
it
You think
hit with
you think there's too many gimmicks? They just don't have straight wrestling matches anymore.
I don't mind a last man
enough.
standing. I don't mind a last man standing match. I think they're all right. Like I said, they botched it. They botched it too, and it was a bad botch.
Well, they seem to be botching a lot lately, and Like maybe they should like learn how to work.
Because when your ref gets to 6, and then realizes that Roman Reigns is still stuck in these cuffs and just stops. I mean, he should have been smart enough to walk over and let Roman Reigns knock him out or punch him in the face or something. So you
or
have a
Paul
legit,
Heyman like distract him something.
yeah, something. Instead, Paul Heyman's crawling under this goddamn light. Did you see him get burned, by the way?
Oh, Kevin Owens, right?
Kevin Owens got burned on one of the lights.
And then they turned off the light after that.
Yeah, because he reacted. He got burned for real on one of those spotlights, and he went, like he was rubbing his arm, and it looked like he was in a lot of pain. And then they shut it off afterwards. You can see it was off. So that fucked up, you know. And then, like you said, there's Paul Heyman on his ass trying to undo these stupid cuffs in this stupid place, and here comes another referee to botch the entire call. So you take what a match could have been decent. To everyone talks about the botch now. So I mean, overall, I enjoyed the pay-per-view, but like you said, when the women's Royal Rumble is probably the highlight, you got some work to do. And that's no offense to the women, not even a little bit. But it shouldn't be the best thing at a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It just shouldn't.
No.
That's just my opinion. Sorry, Bambi. That's just my opinion.
Bambi thinks the women should be the whole thing?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, she's a woman. She might be offended by that remark, and I hope she's not. I don't mean it that way.
There's not much that offends her.
Them, and then Sasha Banks and Carmella.
Yeah, good match. Good spots. Good, you know. And Carmella was vastly improved. And Sasha got to keep her title for the first time, I think, ever. She didn't lose it right away. So that was good. So, I don't know. Hopefully what's the next pay-per-view anyway? You know what the next one is?
I believe it's Elimination Chamber.
That could be pretty decent if they do it right.
Like I said, I think this is where they're either I'm not sure if it's going to be either the Chamber for the women, it's going to be for the Raw Championship, or if it's going to be whoever wins gets the... Because I'm pretty sure Belair is going to go after Sasha Banks. So then it's who's Asuka going to face. If it's for the championship in the Elimination Chamber or number one contender, I think Alexa Bliss is winning that. And I think she goes full on dark.
Flair. She's going to win again. Oh, yeah, Eric's girlfriend got her tag title back. That was the other match in the opening.
Nia Jax, yeah.
Nia Jax and Baszler got their tag titles back. So that was nice. Oh, by the way, you know what I thought was the funniest of the Royal Rumble, the women's, was Billie Kay trying to hand out her resume and her 8x10 to get partners with everybody who walked by. I think she's great. So she's another one who's not a great wrestler, but she is hysterical. And I thought the Iconics were hysterical together too. But Peyton Royce she wants to be a wrestler, I think, and Billie Kay kind of wants to entertain. And I'm fine with that.
They could have been they could have kept them together, and they still could have worked that.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Billie Kay could have been, if anything, managing Peyton Royce to a SmackDown or what is it, Women's Championship. But instead they put Peyton Royce with Lacey Evans, and then they just give up on it. Because now Lacey Evans is with Ric Flair.
Exactly. Exactly. You're just proving our points over and over again. All right. Let's start getting out of here. But let's say, any last words, guys, about the Royal Rumble, about Yokozuna, about Raspberry Jam on the feet? Anything you guys want to say? Eric, I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you about the Raspberry Jam.
Go to Dave first.
I'm looking forward to winning the lotto and giving Eric up there a mill just to see, this raspberry fantasy come through. But besides that, thank you everyone for tuning in. This was fun. We got a show out here, and let's hope this next week or two of wrestling gets better, because the way it's looking, WrestleMania. I'm going to
go watch SmackDown to see what happens. Eric, Tuesday, we'll be back Tuesday. A very quick turnaround for this show, and we're going to have a very special guest. Please plug our very special guest for this Tuesday show.
Well, our very special guest for this Tuesday's show is going to be an old friend of mine, Joel. And Joel is still an indie wrestler. I don't know if he does as much anymore, but he wrestled for 26 years probably, maybe even close to 30. Wrestled under the pseudonyms Jake Daniels, Jake Molson, I think he was Thor the Barbarian a couple times. He's a big guy. Super in shape, super strong. He was a power lifter. He's like I don't know to what Dan or degree martial artist he is, but he's very disciplined in all of that. Um, he's a wonderful guy. He's got a lot in common with us. He likes movies. He likes comics. Loves wrestling. Obviously, likes movies. So he's just gonna be like one of us when he comes in here. But the cool thing is he's wrestled, met, and had a lot of experiences in the business. So it's gonna be fun to talk to him, and he loves answering questions, and he loves shooting his shit. So I mean, you guys are gonna have an absolute ball with him.
Great.
And it's going to be so much fun just to have him on again. He's going to be on my show. What was the deal was he was going to be on my show, and I said, I can't, leave the guys out of the first time him being on any of the show. He's got to be on our show right now with the three of us and Bert if he comes on, because that's just too That's a cool deal having an indie, I was a real indie wrestler, but Joel mentored me a lot, and he stayed in it longer than I did. So, like I said, he's got tremendous stories, tremendous experience, and he's a cool guy. There's nothing we're not going to be able to talk to him about. Like I said, he's just going to be like one of us, and it's going to be a treat. I'm really thankful he's going to be coming on.
Awesome! I can't wait. And my initial. I was gonna say I would just sit back and let you do your thing, and you and him, but I want that for the A to Z show. What I want to do is find out all the little nuggets that we can find out about young AZ. So I
in the business. Okay,
I can't wait to get all the nuggets, all the little juicy tidbits that maybe Eric's keeping from us. Maybe he's keeping a few things from us that Joel will be willing to tell us. So I'm very looking forward to that. So Eric. I said A to Z show, all you.
Yeah, that's Tuesday, what I was telling.
Just Too Sweet show. I want to get all the little nuggets about you, so I can't wait for Tuesday.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him on, so you guys could. I mean, I'll talk to him and stuff, but I think it's more of a treat for you guys to talk to him and get another perspective, and just shoot the shit and get a new friend, because he could be a frequent analyst, he could be a frequent guest. He could pop in. He's really
get guests, and guess who can get guests, and guess who. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So there you go. It's just a win-win. He's a super guy. He's one of the closest friends I've ever had. I consider him a brother. And you guys are gonna love him. As far as the A to Z show, Dave and I are going over a few cool things that we're gonna try out. So try being the key word.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe. So anyway, yeah, and then
that's true. You guys didn't argue once today. I don't like this bullshit producer. You guys didn't argue one time on this show today. You're losing it. You're losing the kayfabe.
Because he brought up Kenny Omega, but he didn't completely shit on him. So I'm like,
I didn't.
Okay, you know what?
Why is that? Why is that? Because you're his producer now, so he's not going to shit on your favorite wrestler anymore.
Well, we combined energies to make the world a better place. That's what we're doing.
Fine. I'm all for that. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. We'll go through everything.
And I think Jader's taken his place for both of us, because Jader can fucking give it out with the best of them.
Well, real quick then, Dave. Any update on the 4 Quarter show? How is the line doing? When will you guys be back? You have any information yet?
Line's doing much better. I actually saw him today for the first time in an entire month. And it looks like, possibly because Granny's Peach Tea took our spot after the Just Too Sweet show on Tuesdays, that we will be jumping to Wednesday. So hopefully this upcoming Wednesday will be our first show of the year.
Very nice. Very nice. Glad that Line's feeling better. Line, welcome back, brother. It's good to see you again. In case you missed it, me and my boy Keith just did Pro Tunes, Episode 2, The Doors album, Strange Days. That was today. Go check that out. I thought another Pop Tunes was coming tomorrow. I'm not sure. Jader hinted that he might be doing a Metallica episode.
Ooh.
I am not sure. He hinted at it. but not sure if that's 100%. So that
I
might
don't
be
know yet.
tomorrow. That might be tomorrow, and then we start all over again. Monday. What is Monday? Who's Monday now?
Davis.
I'm all confused. I'm all confused. Oh, that's right. It's this guy. It's Raspberry Man of the Raspberry Jam. A to Z, and who are you actually having Monday? Or do you know?
We're not sure what's going on yet Monday. I'm gonna consult with my staff over the weekend to see what possibly we can do to because we're gonna adapt a more of a chameleon like format. We're gonna have guests, and we're still gonna do the fun games, but we're gonna expand a little bit on the A to Z program. We would like to be
due to Jada and Kyle's. I'm not allowed to be on any other shows. I've been on 3 shows this week, so I'm done. So I cannot be on your show coming up Monday, Eric. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
Tim, there's always other times, and you know.
No, you know what? Fuck that. I like Pop Culture Pros. I love all the shows. I love all our guys. I'll be on every goddamn show if you let me. I don't care. I have no shame. I have no life. I'll do every one of the shows, every single one of them. I'll do shows that don't even exist yet. I don't care. So whatever.
You're going to be the Ed Leslie of Pop Culture Pros.
Yes, I will have 15 gimmicks going on at the same time. I'll be Booty Man one night, the Zodiac the next. I don't care anymore.
You'll be Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love all at once, coming out of
There
the
you
Royal
go.
Rumble.
All right, so Monday, A to Z. Tuesday is the Just Too Sweet show, followed by Granny's Peach Tea. Wednesday, put it in the books with those Mets boys, followed by the return of the 4-quarter show. Thursday, with Jada and Kyle, they have their own schedule. So we don't know. They might be back Thursday. It might be back Friday. It might be 8 at night. It might be 7 in the morning. We don't know what those do. They're on their own little time schedule. I do know Eric is scheduled to be one of their next guests coming up in the next few weeks.
Ooh.
Yes, I know it was you. Because Jada told the story how I kind of like got mad. I didn't get mad. I was joking around, but I was serious, but I was joking around. Did you hear that story, Dave, real quick? They were talking about, Jada said, I want to have Eric on the show. And I said, bullshit. You're not having him on before me. I've been around much longer. So
and then fucking Jader tells a story last night on the show.
Yeah, it was funny.
fucking
I
awesome.
laughed. I cracked up laughing. I said, yeah. I said, well, man, I've been trying to get on that show for a year now. I said, it's like a fucking Pearl Jam in the 90s, man. You can't get tickets to this thing. I've been trying to get on this show for a year, and you're gonna jump me for Eric? That's not right. That's not cool. So I got on the show. I'm happy. I had a great time. They should be popping up next week too. And then we just keep going all over again in circles. Show. Let's see.
There's other stuff coming up too.
Yeah.
What's coming up?
The streaming show's coming soon too.
Yep.
Thank you, boss man. I honestly appreciate it. I am a whore. I will do anything.
You give the people what they want.
I will do anything for Pop Culture Pros. I have no shame. Zero shame. I'll be on every show. Matter of fact, I want to get a little thing and put myself in the corner here where my face is always in there, just staring at the people, looking at the people, bracing the people. But yeah, we do have a lot of cool shows coming up, the streaming shows about all the good stuff on Netflix, Amazon, all that good stuff. I believe, was I mistaken, Eric? I know I keep dragging this out. Was I mistaken? Was RD kind of promoting himself to get a show on the network? Did you?
I don't know if it was on our network. I think he's putting it out there for himself.
Okay. Wait, so he's trying to promote himself through our network, but not come on our network for a show? That's not right.
You might need to ask the boss. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to say I was under the impression that he was doing his own thing with his own whatever. Oh, there's been talks. Okay.
See?
There's been talks. Okay. So there's been talks. So maybe we're going to have him join.
Maybe that'd be pretty awesome.
But yeah, no, David, David, I know real quick, David, I know what it's like to steal somebody's time because he's not getting Monday back. I'm declaring myself the king of Monday night. So.
All right, guys, that's awesome. That's the rundown. Go on popculturepros.com. We are on everything, every social media format. Go find us. Go love us. Go enjoy us. Go share us. Spread us the love. Spread us around like raspberry jam.
Like raspberry
on your toes.
with a camel in the basement.
All right, guys, it's a good show. Like I say every week, you may not like us, but learn to love us. We're the best thing going today. Raspberry jam, y'all.